Okay, so we'll start with NFTs, like what these are. Before that, I just want to quickly recap what a smart contract is. Okay, so that we can understand NFTs better. So what a smart contract is that we store some data. It has two parts. We store some data, and we have some functions that we use to change the data. Okay, that's what a smart contract is. Okay, so NFT is just another use case of it. What we do is the data is NFT is something called non-fungible token. It just proves ownership of a digital something digital assets. It could be any data, it could be an image, it could be just a random string, it could be an image, it could be a music video, it could be anything. So it's just a digital assets, and NFT, we store the ownership of that digital data. Whatever the data is there, we store the ownership. Who is the owner of that data? Okay, so that's how that is what we store in the data. And in functions we have like transfer this NFT to someone else, buy this NFT, purchase this NFT. So it's just a NFT is a smart contract. Okay, it's just a smart contract where in data we store ownership of whatever data. There is a image, and who is the owner of this, owner one, let's say. There is some another data, there is owner two. Okay, so that's what an NFT is, and there are some functions. What's difference the difference here is, obviously we can similarly store, just create a database table or Excel sheet and store like a mapping, like for this content who is the owner. Yeah, exactly, we can do that. But the difference with NFT is it is immutable. Once this is there, let's say there is some token or there is some image and he is the owner. Only he can change it. Like if he wants to change it, if he wants to sell it, only he can do it. Let's say for any other database, it's not in your control. Whoever is maintaining that database can change it. It's not you that you own that data. And there is one very specific thing about NFTs, that the whatever we are storing as the digital asset must be unique. That is one very key thing about NFTs, that each NFT, each data must be unique. Okay, so that is very important thing about that, so that we can use NFTs for maybe let me a very simple example. If I have to give you, your plane ticket is something is another kind of an NFT. Okay, it's just something that is unique, and that has an owner. It is an NFT, it's just a digital thing, and it has an owner. It can also be called a non-fungible token. It's not fungible means unique, that's what it means. Yeah, exactly. That also comes pretty close to this, but there is one more thing, that this data is public. Okay, so I can anyone can go and just check who owns this NFT, who owns this data. This data is public. Okay, so for any digital content, let's for this NFT, I know the owner. Anyone can just check this. Okay, so people use those NFTs to build communities. Okay, so they create an NFT collection. Let's say it has 1,000 NFTs. Okay, and only those 1,000, only the owners of these NFTs have access to certain functionality or have access to certain events. That's what they can do. So people build NFTs to use NFTs to build communities. That's what currently like they are building. Though they are using NFTs as like that to build communities. There are actually, it's not just related to art. Actually, NFTs has like really great use case. Government of India is using NFTs to provide vaccination certificates for Corona. So it's yeah, for vaccination certificate, it has two properties. It must be unique for each person, and it has an owner who for which person that certificate is. Okay, so that matches this, and it has a very simple thing that anyone can verify if that NFT has the correct owner and that NFT is legitimate or not. That is very easy to verify. So that is also a use case for NFTs. It's not related to art only. Mhm. Okay, so just a little bit more technical stuff on Ethereum, the NFT smart contracts. Okay, so now there are like anyone can go and create an NFT smart contract, right? Mhm. Right. Yeah, because this is actually stored publicly. So for any token, we know who is the owner, and there are other functionalities as well. Like I can transfer this, I can sell this. That can also be done through NFT contract itself. Mhm. And a little bit more technical stuff. So, anyone can store data and create functions. So, the community, the Ethereum community has created one standard to name the function so that if it's anyone's NFT contract, we can be able to interact with it. Okay. So, they just created a standards like if you are storing the data, you can call it as for transferring one NFT to another NFT. There will be a function in every NFT contract. Let's all together come and name that function transfer. No one will name it differently. You can name it differently, but then your contract will not follow the standards. Okay. Okay, it will take two parameters: which token do you want to transfer and to whom you want to transfer. So everyone will name this. Okay, so they have created a token standard for NFT so that you can interact with anyone's NFT smart contract as long as they say that our contract is NFT standard contract. Then we know what functions that smart contract have, what data they must be storing to be able to follow that standard. For all smart contracts, the community decided some standard. Okay, so if you want your contract to be NFT specific, NFT to follow that standard, you have to name these many functions should be there. The data when you're storing should be named this. Okay, so they created some standard, and we have named that standard ERC 721. You must have heard of this, or like, have you heard of it? Standard nomenclature for functions and for data storage. That's what ERC 721 means. So it has certain functionalities like that. If your smart contract follows ERC 721 standard, your smart contract must have a function called transfer. Okay, your smart contract must have a function called transfer from list of something like this. So there are some functions and some data types. That's how it should be, so that everyone can know that, oh, your NFT contract, I know that your contract has this function, so I can directly interact with it. There is one for fungible tokens. Let's say we have one more very popular called ERC20. This is for fungible tokens. So if you want to create your own token, your own cryptocurrency, you should use ERC20 so that all wallets will know that what are the functions that generally cryptocurrencies need, and those functions, if that contract has these many functions, that means it is ERC20 compatible. That's what it is. Yeah, exactly. Ha. So let's say in ERC20, there are thousand tokens. So each token is exactly the same. See, if I send you 10 tokens and you send me 10 tokens, the state is exactly the same. But ERC 721 has 1,000 tokens. Each one of them is unique. Each one of them is different. That's the difference. This is the one standard. So these two are actually the most popular ones, like for fungible and for non-fungible. Then there are actually some modified versions. So they some modified something in ERC20, some functionality. We can call it ERC 165 and ERC. Uh, just there are some other versions also. Mhm. Okay, but most popular, if you see Matic or Binance Coin, BNB, all of them are just ERC20 token standards. And all other NFTs, let's say Board Ape Yacht Club, all those NFTs are ERC 721 compatible only. They are ERC 721 contracts. Mhm. So that's what NFTs are. We'll move to DAO. Okay. So DAO is also just another application called the full form is decentralized autonomous organization. Okay, so what does this mean is it's a smart contract that has uh, a list of members. Okay, it's a decentralized DAO is like a company, but it does not have a hierarchical structure. It has only member. It only has members, and they are doing all the work through using a smart contract. Okay, they are taking decisions using a smart contract. So that's why, let's say it's an organization without a CEO. It only has a members, and they just create a proposal in smart contract. Everyone votes on that proposal. If that proposal has like high votes, that proposal will get executed. That's how a DAO works. Okay, so DAO is just very similar to governance. So it has members. Okay, and it has some functions to create proposals. So each member can create a proposal. So he might say, okay, let's spend this much amount of from our DAO to for this cause, for this project. Okay, and then everyone votes on it whether we should or not. So that data is also stored for proposal. How many votes are there for yes, how many votes are there for no, and based on that, when there is a function called execute the proposal. If it checks how many votes are there, if it can be executed, it will get executed. That's how it, at the core, that's how it works. It has some other functionalities as well. So for each DAO, whenever we are creating a DAO, or whenever we are creating an organization, the basic purpose of it is to have some purpose of it. DAO, it's like a community. So there should be some reason for that community to exist. So every DAO generally has a purpose. So they have some motto to so the entire community, all the members are working towards achieving that purpose. So that's how DAO gets formed. So because people will not get into incentivized to join your DAO if you don't have some purpose to solve, or something, and it could be anything. Maybe to revolutionize finance, or maybe to help education. It could be anything, or create a new protocol in DeFi. It could be anything. So that's how a DAO works. It also has some treasury. We call it treasury. That is basically the balance of the DAO. How much money do they have to spend? And there are many ways to select the members. Okay, it's not public, it's not always public. The membership of DAO, it could be there are various options. So when someone is creating DAO, they might choose that only they can select who will be the member and who will not be the member. So everyone will have to vote, everyone will have to submit a proposal. I want to be a member of your DAO, and only the owner will get to choose it. That will not be very decentralized, but that is one way. There could be another way. Whenever someone applies to join a DAO, all of the members will just vote. That could be another way. So there is one more very popular way, that they create collection of NFTs, or they create a collection of, let's say, some ERC20 tokens. Okay, so they create collection of 1500, let's say, tokens, and is the owner of these tokens are the members, automatically the members of this DAO. So that is like very popular way of doing it. So they create tokens with any token, let's say ERC20 token with 1500 total supply. So there are only 1500 coins, and only the owners of these tokens are automatically the members of token, and whoever owns the majority has the majority of voting rights. So let's say someone owns 20% of tokens, so their vote will be considered as 20% of the votes. That's how it might work, based on how much stake do they have in the token, the DAO token, and that much voting power they will get. That is another way of selecting who is the member and who is not the member of DAO. No. So I'll tell you about curve. Curve. How does it work? Is so they created generally every DApp that has, let's say, Uniswap or Curve Finance. I'll select the option of Curve. Curve. There is a decentralized application called Curve.fi. So it's just a DeFi application. You can swap your tokens. It provides some functionality if you have tokens. It provides you yield if you stake your tokens. So there is a functionality, but they created a DAO related to this Curve DAO. Okay. Uh, Curve DAO, and they created their own token so that whoever owns this token, uh, these people are eligible for upgrades. Okay, so that means the Curve obviously is not perfect. We will be having, just like how we generally have software updates for all the tokens, we can have newer versions of Curve.5. We can add functionality. So who will do that? Who will be the people who are going to improve the functionality? So for that, they created a DAO, Curve DAO. So what that does, that what these people do is they just create proposals of, okay, we should add this functionality, we should do the this way, and for all that stuff they created a DAO, and for that DAO they created a token, their curve token. That's how it works. Generally, all very popular, all the popular dApps you see, at least in DeFi, yeah, they for governance purpose they have to create a DAO, because if there are only few people that will control what will be the upgrades for this application, then this application will not be trusted. If it is controlled by a DAO, if it is controlled by a community which can be joined by anyone just by buying these tokens, that means the people will have more trust in this application. Otherwise people will not trust, because the upgrades, what upgrades we are going to do to this application is controlled by very few people. Exactly. So anyone can buy this Curve token, become a member of this community, which is responsible for making the upgrades or making additional functionality for this application. Mhm. Okay, so this is one purpose of DAO, Curve DAO. It creates a DApp, and for governance of that DApp, they are creating a DAO. There is one more just for organization. So in India, there is like a very popular DAO called Super Team DAO. Super Team DAO. Okay, what the Super Team DAO does is it's just a community of artists. It's a community of graphic designers. It's community of like web designers, all that people. And what they do is it's just like a freelance work, but a community. Clients come and submit proposals to like Super Team DAO, and they distribute the work in between like members of this DAO. If anyone has issue, the other member helps him, and that's how they like earn yield. That's how they earn money. And whoever is the member of this Super Team DAO, and in this DAO, how they control is, they don't have, I don't think they have a coin. What they do is they just vote. So if anyone wants to join, they just apply, and all the current members just vote for this DAO, whether this applicant should be a member of DAO or not, and that's how they get selected. So this is also one application. So they don't have an app to support them, but they are just web developers that take work and complete that work using that community. Hmm. So that's how a DAO works. This is also a smart contract itself. So all of them are related to this. So there is some data and there are some functions to modify that data. That's how like all that stuff works. It's just a smart contract. DeFi. Coming to DeFi, DeFi is actually an umbrella term. It could mean anything. So anything related, we use blockchain to use to provide some smart financial applications. We just call it DeFi. Uh, so it could mean anything. It could be let's say asset management. Uh, it could be let's say you have some lot of funds and you just want to stake them for to earn yield. It could mean that as well. It could be like for it could work as a bank to trans switch swap tokens from, like, if you have one token. Uh, if you have one token and you want to like how we exchange currencies. So I want I want to pay Indian currency and get back USD, let's say. So these functionality, the apps that provide these functionality are also like considered as DeFi apps. The apps that do asset management are also like DeFi apps themselves. So it could mean anything. it's just these are some of the like applications currently that we are having. So the one you mentioned, curve.fi, is also a DeFi application. What it does is it has like a few smart contract. Is not just one smart contract, but one that allows people to stake their token. So let's say you have 100 ethers and you don't have any work with it. You just bought because the price might go up, and so you just stake with them. And in response they will give you yield per year, like 10% per year or 6%, whatever, it depends. So they will provide you. So they will earn yield using your using whatever you stake, and they will provide you interest for whatever you stake. So that's how that can be done using curve.5. It can allow you to swap your tokens. So curve.5, basically what it does is uh, it has some smart contracts that do that have some functions that could swap you. So they will take you token one from you, token one as an input from you, and they will give you token two, any other token. So let's say you want to sell your Ethereum and buy your BNB or buy your Matic, but not from a centralized exchange. You can just do using Curve.fi, and that's the main functionality. Actually, that is how they earn the yield that will be given to the staker. So that's just one of the examples. There are actually Uniswap is also like very popular like DeFi application. It also almost does the same thing. It allows us to create pools for between tokens and allows you to swap between tokens, stake, provide you can provide liquidity. There is one more use case, asset management. So let's say you have a lot of tokens, but you want to do something with it. Maybe invest in some good project ideas, or maybe to it could be anything. Just earn yield on that token, whatever tokens that you have. So asset management DeFi applications do that. uh, so how do they do it? So let's say there is a smart contract. You provide some asset to them, let's say ETH. They will give you a liquidity token. So a liquidity token is something that is a proof of what you submitted. So in actual normal finance, how it works is, so let's say you deposit some amount to a bank. Okay, so I deposit 10,000 USD, let's say. So what they give me is just a receipt. Okay, what they give me is just a receipt, and when I go to their website, I can see that I have deposited, let's say, 10,000 USDs. But in decentralized way, how it works is, let's say you provide some, let's say, 5 Ethereum. So they'll give you some asset that is hypothetically worth 5 Ethereum. So they'll either provide you 5 liquidity tokens, or they will provide you something, let's say, whatever 5 ETH is worth in USD. So let's say this is worth like 20,000. So they'll provide you 20,000 liquidity tokens. So this is the proof that you have submitted 5 ETH. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, and for this 20,000 liquidity tokens, the price will for 20,000 will keep on growing each block. So that's how you earn yield. So let's say you submitted 5 ETH, you got 20,000 liquidity tokens, and after 1 year you are trying to submit those 20,000 liquidity tokens, and you might get 5.5 ETH or 5.6 ETH, or whatever, based on how much interest it has given. So that's how the asset management, or a DeFi. DeFi is actually a general term. Anything related to financial services, any app that provides financial services using blockchain, or in a decentralized way. So no one is controlling. Actually, here no one is controlling. Like how much tokens you should get, how much tokens, what the interest you should get. That's just all written in smart contract, and yeah, it will be it will function automatically without any human intervention. So that's why it is like called decentralized finance. The primary reason is trust, obviously, because it's not because it's because like there's no like a centralized authority that's managing this. It's just a smart contract that has already been written, and that's going to decide like how much tokens you should get back. And you actually have a proof that I in my wallet there are 20,000 liquidity tokens. That means that I submitted 5 ETH. I don't need to go it back in the transaction, or there's no receipt, something called receipt. I just have these many tokens in my wallet. That's the proof. Related to DeFi, in India, it is not yet actually like widely adopted. Huh. NFTs are like there are like all celebrities in India are doing something related to NFTs. They're launching their own collections, and based on that only they do fan events. Only the holders of their NFTs will be allowed to enter the fans. Stuff like that is going on in India at least. Related to DeFi, there's at least actually Indian government is not like regulating it properly, so everyone is in fear like what would happen. And actually, the tax rate is also like very high for assets. So that's why that adoption is little bit slow. Mhm. Yeah, okay. I'll explain that as well. Yeah. Okay, okay. Okay. We might have. I'm not sure. Like we'll go like Web one, Web two, and Web three. Okay. Uh, okay. So Web one was in 1995 or 1990. So what was there was the content was already there. The content was all static. The content was created by a central a single person, or some central authority, and everyone was just consuming it. So we had static websites like how Wikipedia is today. Not It's not like just something to read. We are not creating something. So the content is the more critical word in understanding all these three things. Okay, so content is generated by some single authority, and everyone else is just reading it. Else is just consuming that content. That is what Web 1 is. Okay. Web 2 is something that where the content is created by the people itself, the user itself, and consumed by users. Both of this stuff, so Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff, where the content is maybe Medium, the content is created by the users themselves and is consumed by the users themselves. So this is what Web 2 is. And Web 3 means the content is created, content, uh, the content is created and consumed by users, but it is also maintained by users only. Okay. So in Web 2, uh, sort of, but maintained by, I mean, is who is storing, who is managing. We'll come to Web 2. In Web 2, the content is created by the users, but is not regulated. Like YouTube can take down my video without asking me or without taking my permission. The content, which content to show, which content to make available, which content to like hide. Hmm. Exactly. And the content is stored on their centralized authority. Although it is created by people, created by users, but it is stored in Google server. Exactly. So let's take an example of Twitter. So like, okay, so all the tweets are generally created by users. They are read by the users as well. But Twitter might decide that, oh, we'll delete this tweet from our database, so it will not be visible to anyone. They can decide that one of our users will not be able to create any tweets. So they might ban someone from tweeting. Okay, they might ban someone from their platform. So although it is created and consumed but not managed by some central authority. It is managed by central authority. In case of YouTube, they can decide that, oh, we'll take down this video, we'll not show it to anyone, will not allow this person to upload any more videos, will not monetize this person's videos. All that stuff they can control. They are in control of the content. They are not creating or consuming, but they are in control. So Web 3 just means that all of these three stuff is done by users themselves. So they create the content, they consume the content, and they store the content on a decentralized way. So as we know, blockchain is just something that we use to store data. Okay, so we don't store like big data because it is inefficient. We know that, but there are other ways also where a very popular way is IPFS. It is just something like BitTorrent, where we use it to store data in a decentralized way. So we can store large files here, but and they will always be there. No one can take it down. Yeah, exactly, exactly. So let's say if you want to convert Twitter from Web 2 to Web 3, what we have to do is whatever database that they have and algorithms that they use to show which tweets and all that stuff, that should be there on that should be accessible to anyone, and there should be multiple copies of it at least, because if it is only one copy, then that might get destroyed. So there should be multiple copies of that all that content that is there, and it should be accessible to anyone. Anyone can just go there and add some. Yeah. So in Web 3.0 also, we can have something that used to they can create an algorithm. Let's say for if you want to create a decentralized YouTube, we can create the community itself can create a algorithm that provides us the ranking. So which video should be shown first, which video should be shown second. They can create an algorithm, but that algorithm will be run on each of the place where that content is stored. Just the difference here will be, let's say there is a the we'll take an example of YouTube. So there is some all that data is there, all the videos is there, and people are either creating it or consuming it. So there goes a new user who wants to clone all the data on his computer. Okay, clone all the data or at least some of the data. So he goes there, and all these many videos are cloned on his PC. uh, and he starts consuming from here. And if he adds some data here, that he should not be stopped actually from cloning it or pushing some data to it. That should be decentralized. That should be you cannot restrict other people to change the data or like clone that data, read the data. That should be accessible to everyone.